Paul Chang takes inventory of the damage to his tropical fish store right beside the muddy Sackville River. On Saturday, the river was inside the business.
We had about 12 inches of water that came in through the store.
He's thankful it didn't get high enough to flood the tanks, but the damage was done. Others trying to deal with flooded basements, like Lori McLeod Doyle.
It's practically biblical. You know, we're just waiting for the locusts now, right? We got the fire, the floods. You know, it's crazy.
Premier Tim Houston said he's requested federal disaster assistance. The province now forced to rebuild again after a string of major climate disasters over the past year and a half.
But just in that time, serious flooding in Cape Breton, Hurricane Fiona, massive devastation across many parts of this province, northern Nova Scotia. Fires, devastating fires. We're still trying to get through and to respond to Hurricane Fiona and clean up. We're still trying to, let the fire situation is still, look at the impact on people's lives. And now here we are today.
About an hour's drive west of Halifax, crews were already at work doing road repairs. Water smashed apart roughly 50 roads and triggered landslides. Rail lines were damaged and 6 bridges were completely destroyed.
It was just like somebody opened up the skies. Water was coming in. You couldn't come out here. It would just wash you right down the street. It was that bad.
Officials estimate between 500 and 600 people are still displaced around the province, 200 of them in Halifax. Melanie McWhirter was rescued from her home by a fire truck.
I was standing in the middle of my driveway up to my knees in water. Our basement is fully flooded. Our neighbors are flooded out.
Officials are still asking people to limit their travel. The province and the city of Halifax are asking their workers to stay home over the next 24 hours so repair work can get done faster. But for some, this latest disaster will leave another lasting mark. Shayna Luck, CBC News, Halifax.
Let's bring in CBC News meteorologist Ryan Snodden and first of all, put into perspective how unusual this was.
1971, Ian, Hurricane Beth, the last time that the Halifax area saw anything like this, 200 to 250 millimeters or more of rain, much of this falling in a 6 to 12 hour period. Rivers, streams, let alone infrastructure, culverts just cannot keep up with that amount of rain in such a short period of time.
This seemed to catch everybody off guard in terms of the ferocity of this rainstorm. Was it difficult to forecast?
These setups are difficult, no doubt about it. That said, we've seen this setup countless times before. Tropical moisture streaming in from the south, model guidance in the 100 to 150 millimeter range locally. What changed was the thunderstorms on the smaller synoptic scale, and that's where the models still have a little more difficulty picking things up here. When you see these thunderstorm clusters, one feeding another, what we call training storms. As one storm dissipates, the outflow feeds the next, feeds the next, feeds the next. And so the same areas get hit over and over again by these very heavy thunderstorms. And because the front was so slow moving, Ian, just a 50 kilometer wide radius basically was getting hit by these same storms over and over again, Friday evening into the overnight and Saturday. That's why this turned from a fairly routine looking event to a historic one in just a matter of hours.
Yeah, it sure was, Ryan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.